right, welcome back everyone to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your TNA podcast audio worldwide, baby. To my left, your right, we got Mr. Front Row Bill in the house. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, J-Bone. My arms are a little tired getting back from Texas at the end of last weekend. But it's it's good to be back. Definitely sometimes after those trips, a little draining for coming out of that. But now that we're in the home stretch of the week, feeling recharged and ready to go, because there's never a break here with TNA and TNI. So.
Right.
Would like to thank everybody again that joined the impromptu Sunday morning into early afternoon review
There we go.
Of the big shoe, the sacrifice. Just ask Scott Steiner. But luckily, we're able to get it on. But obviously, I know the TNI fam did not hear, obviously, J-Bones because we couldn't coordinate everybody together. So, Jay, I don't know if you want to hit that before the news to kind of maybe give some quick thoughts on Sacrifice before we kind of get into everything for people that are in chronological order. Can stay tuned. And I know due to a snafu, a technology snafu, the UK guys weren't able to go on yesterday. So I know people are waiting for a lot of opinions from other TNI people other than me.
Yeah. So our apologies for that. And they feel bad too, especially Bison. Bison takes how do I say this? Bison takes a lot of that to the chest. He is very prideful of his show. And we love those guys too. They work hard. And it's I want to address something. It was a very interesting conversation I saw online, and I'm just going to paraphrase here. I'm not going to say the guy's name or try to make it sound like I'm attacking him or anything. I'm not. Please, I'm not. I want to first of all state that. Bison had an interesting conversation with someone online. I believe it was on Twitter, and someone said something to the effect of that the UK show is far better than this one. And I was like, well, that's interesting, And then I'm like, if somebody has that opinion, please, look, you ain't hurting my feelings. I'm proud of them. We brought them in, and I helped them with production up until the point that I couldn't in my schedule do it anymore, and they just took the wheel and went for it. And they've got their own nice little audience, just like we got our own nice little audience. Doesn't matter how big, how small, how many views, doesn't matter. We love those guys. Bill. We love those guys. They love us. I'm always going to be proud of them, no matter what they do on this channel.
Love our UK brethren across the pond. And hey, that's the whole point, is to have different opinions and different themes. And obviously there's a big TNA contingent over in the UK. And obviously J-Bone and myself know very well from our old Twitch co-stream days with the weekly Impacts show, which due to different rules and regulations, we had a huge UK and European and like global audience for that, because that was the best way for a lot of people to watch the show live back then. So no, definitely support that. And obviously we know a lot of those fans from the UK, they want to get the people from the homeland, their opinion on what's going on, because it can be different than obviously, because not even obviously TNA did some of those shows last year, but when you talk about partner of TNA WWE, when you see those audiences, which we just saw right this past Monday in other countries, it's a different experience. like there's different reactions. So it's good to have more than just the US thoughts on this. And if you have a preference there, by all means, enjoy.
Yeah, and we look, and I'll take a good chunk of the blame for this. We don't plug those guys enough. I try to remember to, but when we're in a hurry at the end of the show, and I got a quick something's going on, we got to cut. There's more stuff I want to say that, or we're just freaking tired. It doesn't happen. But please, take the chance. If you don't watch it live on a Wednesday afternoon or wherever you are, take the time.
Yeah, not afternoon for people over there. Like that's at night for people over there, but for in the US
here
it's
they go on 12 noon here, and it's like 6 or 7 p.m. in the UK.
And once again, I know people are always asking, well, why are they on Wednesday? Well, they're previewing that Thursday. They'll talk about the previous week, but they're previewing the next day's show. So that's what works for their schedule. So once again, these are the reasons. Like our thing is going live after the weekly show, or like obviously after a pay-per-view or something like that. So just FYI, that's kind of the rhyme and
they've also
of the TNA.
They've also developed a good relationship with the TNA PR, where our crew had a hair of a falling out. I'm not going to expand on that by any means. They still love us. We still love them.
Let's just say, but hey, I didn't even talk to you, J-Bone, about this since with the schedules and all. But let's just say some inroads may have been made this past weekend.
That's amazing.
And there might be some more official TNA content coming your way through the TNI show in the upcoming weeks and months.
Well, that would be amazing. I'd love to see that. We'll talk about that afterwards. But Bison and the crew have done some amazing interviews of people from TNA, so inside the company, some legends outside the company. So please go check out those interviews on the channel. Go check out their show when you can. We love our TNA brethren, and there's no if anything, it's a friendly competition. It's not. We're the home team. You're the far away team. We matter. You don't. No. It's nothing like that. Please, we love them.
It's all one big happy family.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter to us if you like them more than you like us. Hey, you're watching the channel. We're happy about that. That's all good. It's all, there's nothing wrong. Period. End of subject. So there's nothing, like.
Don't get the poor Bone Man in all these. No,
I'm just saying. People love to. Oh, we're gonna stir the pot. Nah, the pot's broken. We threw it out. It's except
J-Bone is
right. So welcome. Just wanted to touch on that for a minute, and Mayor's asking about our own TNI knockout Alisha. Not on the show this week. She's dealing with some family stuff. She will be back. We'll just say soon. I never want to put a time frame on it because I told her, I said, look, you take care of your family stuff. That's most important. You come back when you're able to. So just in your thoughts and prayers, whatever, just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She'll be back soon. She's still obviously a part of the show. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Okay. So that's where she's at right now. That's all I can say. Let's. Oh, that was a lot. Let's.
Before
I forget, Thursdays are, Thursdays are a whole lot of stuff going on. Thursdays, yes. Let's jump into the super chats that all came in before we went live. So hey, God bless you. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you.
I can highlight the two of them if you
like.
like.
I'll read the first. I'll read the first one. The first two are from Dr. Gerbs. First one's a 20 spot from Dr. Gerbs, and it says, "Have a good show, Advocat 15. That's ADVOCAT 15. You already know. Pick up the newest, The Crown, lemon zest, vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood." Signature scent of the Mad Cat, or Good Hand Gunsmoke, which is vanilla, cedar, sandalwood, smoky oak from John Schuyler. So yeah, the Good Hands having
he's now a great hand.
He is, but the scent,
that's a great scent for a great hand.
I'll have to change the name of that. So, but yeah, so thank you, Dr. Gerbs, for keeping us informed about that. The second one you can highlight here, the $5 one. Let me just scroll up here real quick. The Mad Cat available is a Slam Buddy in sizes cat toy 13 and 18 inches. Great for aromatherapy using the oils, bombs, butters, or catnip. Okay, time to go buy. Okay. So that's something else they got in stock. You have to go on the merch page and go check that out for them. So, but thank you, Dr. Gerbs, for the love and for
the good doctor.
Always being a good promoter of all things of beard oils and all and such. All right.
And then we got another one from our good friend
Bell's Boy. Thank you so much. $20 spot. Greetings, TNI crew. Welp, the Knockouts Tag Team Division finally got interesting. Oh, we'll get into that later. With Metaphor. Oh, is that what Lash Legend and
Jakar, you know what? Jackson? I didn't know that, but that's a great name.
I think that's what their name is. I didn't realize they had a name.
I like that.
And the Chemical X Girls.
Play on words.
X. Oh, that's got to be Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Okay. Are now challenging for the titles, and I love how the Nemeth Bros will beat the Hardys for the title for the titles. What? Do you know something we don't? Oh my God, Bell's Boy, we love you. Bye. Thank you, Bell's Boy. Apparently, he knows something we don't, Bill.
You never know.
All right, let me just.
Could happen in wrestling.
So, and welcome everyone else. Nice to see some of the new faces. Faces come back. Great to see. Thank you. And but yeah, it's a great way to help support the show is if you become a member, part of the membership for a small monthly fee, or if you want to donate while we're live, or if you catch the show on the rebound. And you can always throw in a thanks that way too. It's like a delayed super chat. You just hit the thanks below the screen when you're watching. So yeah, lots of ways to help support the show. But our favorite, of course, number one, smash that like button, smash that sub button. ring that bell for notifications, share the show with your friends. Let them know who you're watching, who you're digesting for your podcast.
And don't forget our audio listeners on the podcast, wherever you get your podcast worldwide audio. Because I know I talk to a lot of the audio listeners. So always good to see them out and about. And thank you, because that's obviously still how a lot of people get the content, because a lot of people are traveling for work, traveling on the road, commuting, and they just, or exercising, doing whatever, and they're just letting the wrestling podcast roll.
Yeah.
So if you're one of them, let us know, because always appreciate the comments in there too. So
one other piece of business before I forget, this just popped in my head. So someone messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, Jay, does that code still work for Manscaped? I got to pick up some stuff." And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Why don't you try it and get back to me and let me know either way? So they tried it. It does not work. So, yeah, I'm sorry. It is what it is. So we're not gonna promote the Manscaped anymore. It was a great thing to.
I guess is maybe somebody we haven't seen in a while got a message and never relayed it.
Yeah.
Dropping the proverbial.
Well, that's the thing is, I never saw anything as far as like how long the thing was supposed to last as far as the promotion for us. This is the first time, so I didn't know. But whatever. It is what it is.
Their loss.
Yeah, because we were promoting the hell out of it.
Taking sponsorships.
We are. And we get
open for business.
We get emails all the time, and I don't take advantage of it. So I know there's stuff out there. I just have to go through them and go see what's available, or sure, we should say what's still available. So,
hey, tag your favorite brands and let them know you want the TNI show to promote them. Well, speaking of that, hey, I'll just put it into the ether right now, right. J-Bone. If in the chat, because sometimes they are in the chat, if our good friends and TNA partner, Blacksmith, is in the chat and would like to offer, I know we have done previously when they joined us on the show, had a promo code, that would always be welcome, I'm sure, by the TNI fam. So if Blacksmith's out there listening or listens later and wants to hop in the comments or something and offer a code for the TNI listeners, I'm sure they'd be happy with all that new TNA merch they got. Because I know now the tracksuits are in. They were pre-orders, but there are some on the site. You can order them now and get them delivered.
There you go. Yeah, and look, he's a great company, and we've been friends for a long time, supported each other. We've talked to him, he's talked to us. And it doesn't matter who he's doing merch for. We're proud of him. It doesn't matter if it's TNA, AEW, independents, whatever. I don't care. It's all gravy. Is a great up and coming independent company that's really starting to gain some momentum out there and make some great merch with some great companies and great wrestlers. So go support them, seriously, And look, I know there's wrestling fans out there that love stuff beyond TNA. Come on, we're we're not going to sit here.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I know, Bill.
What are you talking about, Jay?
It's like it's hogwash. Like, how dare you? Like I can't.
Finally,
like what you actually like Will Ospreay after he wrestled for TNA? It's like, oh my god, how could you? No, I still love watching him. Or Ricochet after he left WWE. Whatever, it don't matter. It's all wrestling.
Well, we just did have St. Patrick's Day, so I agree.
Right?
Rick O'Shea is a favorite.
Yeah.
The luck of the Ricochet.
Bill, I don't think he's Irish. Or maybe he is. Because he don't look like Sheamus. I'm just saying. It's, But anyways.
Prince Puma. Mr. MLW.
Prince Puma.
No,
Prince Puma. He was Prince definitely Puma. Irish. Cousin of Ricochet. Anyways. I kid. What else is shaking, Bill? Tell us about your weekend experience. Was there anything outside of?
Yeah, I think I turned this as a question for what you thought about Sacrifice, and we didn't talk anything about.
Because I went off. I went. I'm sorry. I did. Okay, so I didn't watch like every second of the show. I watched it in pieces and in clips. I did enjoy it. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch more of the X Division match. Like what happened with the Hart.
My match of the night.
What happened with Matt Hardy? Brutal. Kind of felt like something was in the air, but didn't know if and when something was gonna go down. Well, this was. Man,
were you waiting for JBL?
If something was gonna, yeah, right. It's like JBL was busy, so it's like, all right, well, we gotta upstage him. How do we do this? They got JBL on the phone. He's like, I'm not climbing that damn cage. Click.
That would have been tough. He would have had to pull the door open like Elijah eventually did.
I feel like the knockouts really stood out. They had a great match between Masha and Cora Jade and Yǐng Lee and Tessa. Man, I tell you what. So Tessa's just knocking on. Love her or hate her, I don't care. She's killing it in that division, and she is absolutely. She is a force to be reckoned with.
She's a star.
She is.
She's a star. She's about as good in the ring as anybody there is out there. So I don't know. She's making the most of it. And hey, she wants the heat, and the heat comes, and she's eating it up. So
it comes in form of check.
No, I agree. I think you're hitting kind of the big pieces of that. Yeah. Obviously, the cage match, the aftermath, the X Division title match, the undefeated. We're now calling him the master of the ladder match, Moose, and then. The knockouts really stood out. I think those are all big takeaways.
Moose was lucky. Oh,
what? That's poppycock.
I was really rooting for it. I know you gotta. You're a softie when it comes to Moose. I was really rooting for Jeff, man,
and Jeff Hardy. Come on, man. I go way back with Jeff Hardy. But it's tough. Like Moose, people were talking about it earlier about Eddie Edwards. But Moose, like you're talking long time, continuous roster member here. Like you got to support these guys. These guys are the foundation of the company. Mm-hmm. But the Hardys have been there through a lot of the big moments over the years.
Yeah.
And they're definitely helping this big push that TNA is having right now. Just look at them every time. Like, what was it? I think their meet and greet ended at like 2:30 in the morning.
Good night. Tell me you took part in it.
I did not. But I would not have had the energy to be up that late to it. But you know what? Terrence is asking a question. And I know there's rumblings on this out here, but I'm going to give my...
Go ahead, bro.
Did TNA buy that steel cage from a liquidation sale? I know there's all this talk that they bought this steel cage. I do not believe they bought that.
I heard someone say Ollie's.
Why would you buy? I don't know. But why would you buy a steel cage stored in another total part of the country and then ship it down like that? My guess is they used another promotion's cage, like some local indie promotion's cage is my guess. That's what I would suspect. But I do not know that for a fact, but I believe some people were saying that. Like, I'll believe that they have a cage. Like, if it's like the old cages we saw in the Impact Zone from back in the day, like those 2009, 10, 11, where you could do a cage walk, if they show up with one of those at a show, like, or if they bring back Lockdown, something like that, then I'll believe they have their own cage. That I do not believe. Because once again, I don't think it just makes sense travel-wise to do that.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
He says, fair enough. All right. Steph Bell's boy says steel cages are us. Of course. I mean, who doesn't go to steel?
But I still liked it. I still appreciated the first cage match, which I guess it was similar to the cage that was used on the Access TV debut. But once again, that was that's kind of roughly what you kind of see. But it did obviously have the cutouts for cameras and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I thought it was kind of that ilk. And kudos to Johnny. I said during the review on Sunday, like Johnny Bravo had his crew and they knocked that out. Like if you didn't know, obviously it was being built during the First Class Penthouse that was being aired. And they had an extended Penthouse to allow for that if it took time, but they had that finished minutes. Like, I think they had 3+ minutes that they kept going with the Penthouse, but yet it was already completed. So kudos, obviously, to all of them doing it.
Yeah.
But hey, us just getting that spot from Leon Slater was worth the cage match. And you had obviously the heel turn. Like, so you had like the spot of the night, and then you had the big heel turn we've been waiting on from Nick.
Yeah.
So it accomplished its goal. I almost, unless we get Lockdown back at some point, I don't anticipate another cage match though in the near future, unless they go with Lockdown. It's just not the TNA under Anthem, like cage matches, because you look at it with live shows, it takes time. So you got to get creative on how you do it. You got to have an extended segment to do it. Even if you start the show with a cage match, which they've done before. Yeah, like you could start it, but then you still got to take it down. And that takes some time.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you're going to get a time period. If you main event it, you got to build it. If you start it, you got to tear it down.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's the other takeaway from the show. Entrances, J-Bone.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Yeah, well, this
like the best entrances of a TNA show in modern memory, because you had obviously Tessa with the obviously the live singing of the entrance song. Then you have, but then obviously you had freaking Elijah on a horse.
Oh my God!
You had Santana in the lowrider. Like, very cool entrances.
Yeah.
So kudos. I was talking to some people with TNA, and that was definitely a great takeaway. And talking to the Carlos Silva, the president, and then obviously Ariel, who's obviously in charge of.
How is the Prez doing?
Oh, the Prez, he's doing a good job. He like I said, the first time I met him, it was funny. I guess the first time I met him was actually at Genesis, but I didn't know I had met him.
Oh,
like very unassuming. Like he was just like he commented that he liked the hat because it was Texas, so I've been wearing the moose hat in Texas shows only. But then I said, oh, thanks, and it said, oh yeah, great show. And then I did not. I figured he was like an Anthem official, but there was a lot of people there. But then obviously the following next time I met him, then I knew who he was. So, but now I'm seeing him all the show. So once again, the support is there. Like when whoever Anthem kind of gets in there and is kind of running things, they're making their appearances, they're having their. But obviously I know Kaz was in the news, but we've heard Santino say it before and others. The goal is expanded coverage of Impact.
It has been.
Like that's the goal. Is it going to be on another TV station? Is it going to be on a streaming service? That's the goal right now. And with these gates, the partnership with WWE and NXT, these are all trending in the right direction for that, no doubt. Obviously, the Canada deal is huge right now.
Right.
We're still waiting to see what happens with India. Like, but that there could be something big there if Sony 6 falls into place. Like a lot of things could be looking really good for TNA's future.
Right. I mean, in just a handful of years ago, their African deal was like ridiculously good, and they had millions and millions of Africans watching.
And shout out, and I don't know what it currently is. I haven't looked lately, but I know we had a big following in Uganda. So hopefully you're still watching the TNI show or listening to the TNI show in Uganda. Let us know.
Yeah, it's and the way we kind of garnered that is like once in a while someone would pop up in the chat, or I was doing this more on a regular basis years ago, but I would see who's following the Facebook page. And all of a sudden we'd get like a handful of people from, say, like Nigeria. You know, you catch a really different name and go, wow, where's this person from? You go to their Facebook page and then they're from some little, you know, coastal town in Nigeria. Where is that? And it's on, you know, western side of Africa. And it's just
the beauty of being able to reach a global audience through these things, through podcasting and YouTube and Twitch and the audio platforms. Just fantastic.
What
a world we're living in.
I've never talked about it. At least I've never tried to talk about it as in a bragging thing. It's always just been humble. Just the sometimes I'm just speechless. I just, you know, can't believe the reach of the show, which it's just makes me feel great. So,
yeah, just like TNA always has had that global reach. That's why, hey, we started talking the beginning of the show 10 minutes that we have a UK division.
Right.
That's how much of a reach the brand
so
has,
proud of them.
TNA.
So, yeah. So no matter where you're watching from, you know, don't be afraid to drop a message in. You know, unless you're dropping messages in our Facebook chat like, oh, your Facebook page is canceled. It's like, oh, well, then we know you're, you know, no good. But I can't say how many we get. It's ridiculous. It's like, oh, yeah, the page is gone. Bye. Sorry. No, page is fine. Come on over. Go check it out. All the links are in the description. Go give us a follow. So yeah, the sacrifice was fun. I can't remember all the stuff from it because you watch so much stuff week after week. NXT Roadblock was great. You know,
but I'll kind of just chime in on the El Paso crowd.
Yeah,
and like just from the get-go, from being outside the building, it appeared like the most people that were outside a venue before it started. Like it was just a mass of people. Now, obviously, a lot of it is GA seating there, so people wanted to get their spots. But it was like I heard people were there. Now, once again, you got to remember, this was Friday. Due to the time change, the show was starting, the pre-show was starting like hours earlier. So you're talking like pretty much right at the end of the workday. And people were there, lined up early, just very dedicated. And from what I heard from a lot of the fans, like it's obviously a wrestling. There's a huge wrestling fan base there, so like they did their homework. TNA, they knew that there was a hotbed of wrestling fans, and if it's been AEW, WWE, whenever somebody does go to El Paso, they sell that. They sell it out if it's a live or like a pay-per-view type show, because the fans there, they love their wrestling. So they support it. So I have a very good feeling, because I know going into day 2, earlier that day, they were 200 walk-ups on that Saturday show to beat the 2-day record set in Montreal, like of recent memory, like of attendance. So they definitely surpassed that.
Wow.
So like this was their biggest 2-day one town, because you got to remember, like Genesis was a 1-day. But so their 2-day total surpassed Montreal, which is a very good, like I said, you got to go back to a town when they support you like that. So great job. Obviously the fans way into it. Like you could hear it over on both, obviously the live show and now tonight's show. And as we go over until they get to Missouri. So they're definitely, I think they knocked out of the park too, the fan base.
Yeah, Missouri is going to be interesting.
That is going to be interesting, like outside of Kansas City. Kansas City.
I would love to make that road trip. That's in what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
I would love to make that road trip just for the sake of going down to some place out of state, like St. Louis, whatever you call it. I'm from Wisconsin. What the hell do I know? My geometry, geography is horrible. I should tell my buddies in the Rambler. I should tell the Ramblers to go, and then they could come on here and do a report. How about that?
Oh, there you go.
I would love that. Tell them to go and have a blast. I think they would have a blast. They've been starting to watch a little more. In fact, Dizzy was messaging me during the show, and he was like, "Wow, is that Chavo?" It's like, yeah, we'll get into that. It's like, yeah, that's Chavo, man. And here, Aaron Jack mentioning, Dirty Dom got mentioned on the show tonight. I think that's absolutely flipping hilarious. Just saying, oh yeah, his mom got around. Chavo, what are you doing? What are you stirring up, man? That's family shit.
What are you stirring up?
No. And then it was like, oh yeah, everyone still loves Chavo. No one likes Vicky anymore. I don't want to get into that. No, I'm kidding, but we'll discuss that more when we hit that part of the show. But yeah, shall we dive into this show, bro?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is March 20th, 2025. TNA Impact from El Paso, Texas. This is from the second day of tapings at Saturday. So Masha Slamovich opens the show. She's cutting a promo, talking about defending her title against Cora Jade. And of course, I shouldn't say of course. I was a little surprised by this, because like you know the rivalry's building, you know it's coming, but you don't know exactly when it's really gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about Tessa Blanchard. When is she really gonna show up and start attacking verbally and or physically Masha Slamovich? Well, she showed up here, but she attacked her verbally, but Masha got attacked physically by someone else. Bill, I don't think we were expecting. She got attacked by...
I was not expecting.
She got attacked by JC Jane of NXT. women's division.
I like it. Well, you kind of look at it. It's interesting how we're kind of seeing Tessa and Masha, because like it's almost like, all right, you're like, how quick are they going to go into this? Because you know that's where it's leading to. But now it's kind of like, because remember, it was kind of like it wasn't heavily like heavy-handed that it was Tessa and like Cora Jade as some kind of partnership, but there were times where like she kind of was it's almost like she's the liaison with some of these NXT people getting involved with Masha. So no, I thought this was it's another one like because people talked about during this NXT partnership. It's like, hey, we're seeing some names here, something, but now you look at it, we're seeing like everybody, like the whole roster is coming into play now with NXT, really. And now with the knockouts, like, and this is going to be a big topic of tonight with this show, but really helping fill in those spaces in the knockouts division, especially obviously with the tag teams, as we'll get into. But no, I think that's a great way to kind of have Masha start building a run here, is using some of that NXT roster.
Yeah.
Aaron Jack, that's kind of what I'm saying. So like it kind of was teased a little, but it's almost like, yeah, is Tessa creating a faction here with some NXT?
That is really interesting. I mean, if you want to talk about expanding the boundaries of a women's division, what better way to do it than have someone be the focus point in one brand and use a few people from another brand at your bidding.
Mm-hmm. The Outsiders. It's like the NWO angle all over again. So no, someone to definitely keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. But yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on going forward and see what we do. But it's I was surprised. Let us know in the chat if you're familiar with JC Jane and what'd you think about her showing up here on Impact tonight. But yeah, Santino comes out to try to get some order here. But definitely we're gonna see obviously JC Jane and Tessa like. Well, what's her part in this? But JC Jane and Masha, they look like they're going to be going at it sooner rather than later, especially based on what we saw here.
Bill, you take over for a little bit. I got to step away for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. All right.
All right. Sounds good. We're going to move right along here and go into our first match of the night. Well, J-Bo's trying to get rid of me here. He doesn't. There we go. Thank you, J-Bone. He will be back. But we get the Rascalz versus the Northern Armory here. Obviously coming out of Sacrifice with a big win over Wes Lee's team. But now you got the Northern Armory. Obviously got Eric Yǐng and Ace Austin out there. But no, Rascalz get the win. Definitely feels like the Rascalz are getting built up again. The like big win at Sacrifice, then big win tonight on Impact. So in the tag team division, like obviously you had kind of the push early, but then they kind of went a little bit back burner. But definitely the Rascalz looking good here. Definitely seem like I know we always talk about the passion, especially with Trey, but they're really bringing it. And Wentz is looking great on both, and obviously they've been a big NXT crossover these last now we're in months that they've been one of the key figures. So big win here, and we'll kind of see where they go from here, but going to be a big part of this tag division moving forward. Then we get obviously one of my favorite segments of the night, the First Class Penthouse with special guest Chavo Guerrero Jr. So definitely he didn't take kindly to First Class and AJ disrespecting El Paso. But then you get the Aztec Warriors, Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr. coming out, joining Chavo, and a challenge for a trios match next week. So we're going to see Chavo back and in action next week. So looking forward to that. Chavo Guerrero, man, it's been a while since his TNA days, but great to see. Glad to see it. Taking a look here. Oh yeah, and KC was nailing it too. No doubt, Aaron. There we go. We got David from Chicago. Always good to feel free to always drop in where you're from. It's always cool to see. Got Mayor here saying I didn't notice till today that one of the members in our armory doesn't wear shoes. That is correct. I think he may have for like one or two matches did wear boots randomly, but pretty much has been shoeless. It's a requirement. With Speedball, Mike Bailey no longer on the roster, you have to have at least one guy without shoes. Oh, you're right there, Mayor. Gia interviewing Zaya before First Class. So yes, there was some backstage segments. So because we know we're going to be getting Zaya and tag action a little bit later, which we'll get into. Don't want to get too far before the Bone Man comes back, but hey, we just had a Friday night episode of the First Class Penthouse, and now we got a second one. So I'm always in favor more Penthouse. I know in the first one, AJ said it's like a Piper's Pit, and I was always a fan of the Pit. So now let's because this is probably I'm guessing we'll probably get Jay back at some point here, but what I would say has been the feud of recent memory in TNA for sure, and that is the Mike Santana, Mustafa Ali feud, because obviously they had their match at Sacrifice. In the end, Ali came out on top. Definitely some shenanigans involved, and that's why there was a stipulation tonight for this match, and that was the cabinet. So no great hands. No press secretary steals. So there was the cabinet banned from ringside. But that's why I knew. So pretty much, J-Bone, I just went over the First Class Penthouse and the Zaya interview with Judas. So, and then obviously we did have one match I went over, and that was the Rascalz defeating the Northern Armory. Any comments on the Rascalz and Northern Armory before we get into the next match, which I have not discussed yet? Mike Santana versus Mustafa Ali in the next match of their feud.
I like that the Northern Armory are getting some decent match time. They're going to win some, they're going to lose some, but they still got EY as their lead. So no matter what, they're still going to be a presence, still going to be a threat, I should say. Mm-hmm. But I like it. Ace Austin is still with them. That's still a standard. Zaya Brookside's interview with Gia was interesting. I felt like Rosemary's live interruption on the screen, and how it went back and forth with Zaya was actually really good. And I'll tell you what, he kind of freaked me out. Rosemary is, it's one thing to have her scream into a camera. It's another thing to watch her on a screen and be even more unpredictable. That's the big thing to take away from here is that she's unpredictable. You don't know what she's going to do. You don't know if she's going to smile and kind of seduce you in a way in her promo, or if she's just going to scream at you and scare the shit out of you. It's just you don't know what you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and how you're going to get it from Rosemary. So she is still top of this division, if you ask me.
Well, J-Bone, speaking of unpredictable and unexpected, I'm looking above you right now on the video feed. Okay. All right. Well, don't say anything yet. All right. But just looking at it, it almost seems like you're underneath Carmen Sandiego.
I wasn't sure.
Where in the world is J-Bone? That's what I would know.
Where's J-Bone? I'm in my office.
Rockapella, hit it.
That was a cartoon.
Just the red fedora makes me think of Carmen Sandiego.
Wasn't that a video game? A video game or a cartoon or something?
Well, it's a little bit of both, J-Bone, if you want to know. It was a computer game, a PC game back in the day that became a kids game show that featured cartoon villains. So you're kind of a little right on everything.
Gotcha.
But it's known for the very catchy theme song.
I remember seeing it like advertised and stuff, but I did.
It was too educational for J-Bone.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I didn't even know that.
You would learn something.
I didn't realize it was educational. I thought it was more of a. I'm trying to think some of the classic cartoons. Johnny.
Were you watching Nick Arcade?
No.
Were you talking Johnny Quest?
Yeah, I thought it was like a Johnny Quest kind of cartoon. I didn't know. I didn't know.
You're watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
No, I was watching Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry and South Park and Beavis and Butthead.
Bugs Bunny, the recent Looney Tunes movie just came out.
Ooh.
Well, because it's an interesting story.
I haven't even seen the trailer. Obviously, I have heard of it, but I haven't.
Well, I'll tell you why you haven't seen the trailer. I know there's a wrestling company in cahoots with obviously Warner Brothers and all right now. And I go back. I go old school Warner Brothers and I'm big fan, but not a fan of the guy running Warner Brothers these days. But the whole thing that happened here is they make a movie starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. But just like everything else, like the Wile E. Coyote movie, they're almost going to shelve all this stuff. They sold it to another company, this movie, Ketchup Entertainment. And that's who released the movie. So Warner Brothers not only did not promote this movie at all, they took all the content from Looney Tunes off of Max to make sure this movie wasn't promoted with the library. So they're actually trying to single-handedly kill their animation division. But
what?
I digress and go back into wrestling.
Man, the cocaine is still alive and well in Hollywood. That's all I gotta say. It's sad.
That's right. But now where we can really get into Mike Santana, Mustafa Ali in the next bout of their feud here.
I do want to touch on Chavo.
Oh yeah, get back to the penthouse.
I mean the penthouse is great. I do enjoy it. There was no like additional people sitting out there, which I was like, okay, who are they going to bring out now? They didn't bring out anyone, which is, as far as like people with them, part of their
they didn't have
no crew. No, yeah.
But Chavo did.
Chavo did. By the way, Chavo looks great, by the way. He is in shape. He looks great. He sounded great. Yeah. And for those of you that don't remember, I'm pretty sure, and TNA has always been great at this, it's either on their socials or on their YouTube channel, they put like matches or a collection of matches that Chavo was a part of when he was a part of the company. And I was like, I'm sorry. I had to think, look, I love Eddie, I love the Guerreros, but I had to like really think. I'm like, Eddie, I'm like, see, there I go. Chavo was never a part of TNA, and then all of a sudden I see a thing on my YouTube saying, "Oh yeah, he won the tag championships with was it Hernandez?" Yeah, and it was like a form of LAX at the time, I believe.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's that part of LAX is a little fuzzy to me. I'll always remember Homicide and Hernandez. And by the way, I just heard,
and you know what?
I just heard some news about
we
Homicide.
Gotta give he wrestled his last match tonight.
So
going into retirement.
So happy retirement.
And I know he
for
obviously
Homicide
with some health issues. And I know he has some health issues too. So wishing the best to the
Absolutely.
Homicide.
Man, he's
OG, one of the OGs.
Is, and of indie wrestling, period. It goes way back, having all-star matches with guys like AJ Styles, CM Punk, just to name a couple. All over the indies, all over this great nation of ours. But I'm always going to be partial to the time that Homicide had phenomenal single or tag matches in TNA. So, happy retirement, Homicide. And I hope that TNA actually does take some time relatively soon, if they haven't started already, to do some kind of tribute to him. Maybe this fall, put him in the Hall of Fame. I think that'd be proper. Put out a DVD or put something on the YouTube, put a special on the TNA Plus, some kind of collection for him. You know what I mean? He deserves it, But welcome back, Chavo. I I know he was helping train women for X amount of different movies for Hollywood, different spots, different positions. I don't know what he was currently doing or who he's been working with. But I guess we're going to find out pretty soon how good he still is.
Next week.
Now look, I know he's in. Look, I don't normally go there with you as far as that kind of stuff, as far as spoiler stuff. Now I'm not gonna. Just hold on, just hold on before you fall out of your chair. I'm not asking for wins and losses. I'm not asking for moves and all that kind of stuff. Just a real generic opinion. How did Chavo look? That's all I'm asking.
All right. I'll give you one of my most hated chants in wrestling. He still got it.
That's all I want. I just wanted to know whether he was going to stink up the joint or not. So it was like, so I could prepare myself for this.
Yeah, no, you don't got to worry about Chavez.
But if he's tagging with the likes of Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr., which I did like from the show, by the way, I don't know if they're actually becoming an official part of the roster, but
feels like it. It feels like it. I'll be interested. It's going to be real interesting to see if this was just a set of tapings tag team or if they stick with it. I hope they do because we've talked about it before. I think
why
they
not?
did need use Laredo Kid more, but adding another luchador or two would not be a bad thing.
Right? Yeah, because you lost. Well, you lost Crazy Steve and you lost Taurus. At least I think we lost Crazy Steve. I'm not sure about that, but I feel like we did.
I thought you were gonna say I think we lost Taurus. Who knows? Maybe he shows back up.
There's some other guy that kind of looks like him in AEW, but I don't know if it's him or not. No, we did.
He ain't called Taurus.
Yeah, he's called what, Mortis now or something.
I believe so.
He's got the same mask. It's just got more horns on it. No, he's still awesome. But
bring me more luchadors. Bring me Psycho Clown.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
I can't believe one of these companies has not brought in Psycho. And that's probably more him. He wants to stay in Mexico and do his thing. But seeing obviously would recently Pentagon has what he's been able to do, the crossover. I feel like someone with that kind of mystique and look would be the fans would just eat that up.
Yeah. There's a plethora of good luchadors, foreign and we'll just say foreign and domestic. We'll see.
There's definitely that is a place where you can still find a lot of good talent in that realm that hasn't all been snatched up by the big companies.
As long as it's not ADR.
Always putting down the former world champ.
He's a current world champ.
He was just in the
news.
He's
a current world champ, for crying out loud, and he's getting banned.
Well, I mean, TNA world champ. The only title we recognize.
Yeah. I'm just saying, for his own company, he was
a world champ in this company.
Yeah, what a mess. Poor guy. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, where were we? Ali and Santana. We were talking about Chavo. Okay, now we're going into Ali and Santana.
Yes.
I was really excited about this, just to see what they were going to do next with this. Not a fan of this. Not a fan.
Not a fan of the count.
I've never been a fan of the Countout. I just and this goes all the way back to when I watched wrestling in the Hogan era, the 80s. As a kid, just walk around the house. Jason, what's wrong?
Well, you can't finish a feud that quick. This feud's going to be a months-long feud. So you can't blow it off that quick. So when they booked the match right on the heels of that, it's well, that ain't going to happen. All it did, though, it did give Santana technically a win. So now they're even. But you're not going to see this. This is now going to build. I almost wondered, I don't think you're going to see them one-on-one in the ring again for a little bit. It feels like now you got to kind of build up more stuff around them again.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's Evilise? I think Evilise has kind of blackballed herself out of the industry. Some women just can't get along with other women. I don't know. Anyways.
Well, we won't get into that whole thing, but it is kind of crazy because she has that same thing, that reputation that Tessa has. It's that same, people don't but once again, it's a certain people that just, it's that. And that's the main thing. It's just, they don't like working with certain people because of their reasoning, which it's kind of crazy. But not to say that has not been in wrestling for a very long time.
So, but yeah. Yeah, not a fan of this finish, but yeah, this obviously is going to continue. And I did find it entertaining that Mustafa Ali was working his way, backwards through the crowd, and then all of a sudden his crew is there to like help him exit quickly. And Gia Miller after the commercial break is right there in the parking lot. She's ready to go. She's like, "What?" I love the question. Why did you run from Mike Santana? And he's almost quivering. He's so mad. He's like, I did not run from him. It's yeah, he did.
Oh. And let's wish a happy belated birthday to Mean Gene
there you
Miller.
go. And by the way, between shows tonight, between the live reaction and the show we're presently doing now, I saw a promo that she is involved in Wrestling Revolver. And she cut a promo and is in character doing something else with, Alan Angels in that company that I am very curious about. It's a different side of Mean Gia.
Heel Gia.
I have never seen before. I'm like, who is this?
The multi-talented.
She is. She plays this Southern. Well, I'll just say she plays a Southern belle on TNA. Tries to get along with everyone. Just tries to do her job respectfully for the company.
She's a broadcast journalist, J-Bone.
She is. She's one of a kind. One of a kind, and has grown with the company and has done wonderful things with the company. But this character that she's playing in Wrestling Revolver, that's Sammy's company, right? In the Midwest?
Yes, correct.
Oh my goodness. I need to watch more of these shows. Because apparently
good stuff.
Apparently Sammy's cooking something up in his company that is very interesting.
Are you saying Chef Sammy?
Yeah.
Versus Chef Sean?
He's pork. Yeah, just yes.
Did you just do your Swedish Chef?
I did. I'm old school, Bill. I love the Muppets. I will always.
Oh, who doesn't love the Muppets?
I will always pork for more. Sammy's cooking down there. What isn't it like a new saying? Let him cook. I don't know.
Hold on.
Whatever that means. I don't know. But yeah, he's cooking down there. But anyways, but yeah, so she's trying to do her job. Trying to get the scoop. Why did you run? And everyone's like, stop. Hammer time. No.
Oh, there we go. Hammer don't hurt me.
She's not gonna get the scoop this time, Bill. She's not. Even
all she gets.
Tasha Steelz is like, stop right there. Get in the car. Okay, Tasha Steelz jumps in the car. They take off. That segment is done, Bill.
That segment is done.
It. We continue.
That's it. And now we get
second half of the show.
The Nemeth segment.
We get to hear from the brothers. Nemeth.
The little and big brother.
Oh, God. Ryan is just, the more he does it, I'm like, damn. AEW fucked up. Why didn't you let this kid just...
Yeah, what was CM Punk's problem the whole time?
I don't know. Look, I love CM Punk. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to try to understand it. This kid is talented.
He didn't want to let Ryan Nemeth get his shine.
This kid is talented. You know? But anyways.
That now we talk about it at times. I don't think we talk about it enough. But kudos to TNA Creative in working with Ryan, and kudos to him. This is a gimmick that's getting over.
They're giving him a chance, just like they're giving so many others a chance. Something original, something different. Sometimes you just got to throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks. Sometimes you just got to throw something up the flagpole.
And you got to give it more than 1 or 2 weeks. You can't be like, hey, let's sign a person, have them challenge for a title, lose, and never be heard from again. Like you gotta actually work on a storyline. You got to work on a gimmick, and sometimes that takes time. You got to put time into things, and I think you're seeing a payoff here with Ryan.
As soon as he showed up with Nick Nemeth, number one, I was shocked. And number two, I was pleasantly surprised. And I did not realize at the time that when we were talking about Nick Nemeth first showing up and doing stuff, that there was going to be a package deal showing up. And that Ryan was going to be a permanent part of it. Pleasant, and then the more we saw him, it was like, oh, something's going on here. He's not just on loan from AEW. He's gone.
No. Well, when there were rumblings that was the case, right here on the TNI show, it was said that he was locked up with TNA, that he was with TNA at the time. When people thought, oh, what's he doing? How's he showing up here? He's part of AEW. Yeah. That was not the case. So, yes, no, Ryan, once again, I think they long played, let the story breathe, and I think they're doing great business now because they had this big angle to close out Sacrifice. Now they're back, and now we're finding out why. Why, J-Bone? Why? Or do we?
Well, we got a piece of it. We got a piece of it. We're starting to understand the way of the thinking of the Nemeth brothers, and it's good heel work. It's hard to realize. It's not as, we'll say, it's not as extreme as, say, one John Cena. You get nothing. You get. Put that on a freaking t-shirt.
You can't see this.
You get nothing. My God, gold. But this was good. Nick Nemeth comes down to the ring. The Hardys are frauds. And I'm like, oh, shit. Really? All right. So the Hardys are frauds, Bill. Did you know this?
That's not what you say to a live wrestling crowd. Right. But it seems obviously Nick saying he's the one, like he's the guy that got TNA all this momentum and business. Not the Hardys, who are getting all the credit in his mind for a lot of this, but that's that cocky heel that we've come to know over the years of Nick Nemeth, and now showing his true colors, it appears.
Starting to come out again.
Starting to come out big. But yeah, like that, we knew it was going to be there, and this is kind of what we're seeing. So no, I'm here for it. I think it's a good angle to go down. I know we kind of like joked a little bit about JBL, but Aaron Jack asking, question is now, when does JBL return? It's a good question. Now I will be honest, because I said once they leave Texas, if we don't have resolution to the JBL angle, it's gone on too long. So I will say the JBL angle, I don't know if they're just going to ignore it right now and act like it never happened. I think that's a possibility. Because you have no momentum right now. The angle, you have to now build it back up again from almost the beginning, because it's too stretched out. It's too stretched out. There's not enough of it going, like, other than him showing up at random indies and all, doing all that. I'm not, like, obviously now with Nick back and this a major storyline, you can re-enter it. And they were teasing JBL more as a face in his last interaction. So, okay, now he's heel Nemeth, so JBL takes him out. But I don't know. I think it's going to be tough to tidy this up in a nice bow. So unless they, once again, get into a thing where he shows up and then it becomes like a multiple week angle where it all plays out, that's probably the only way to make this make sense. But if it's like another one-off and then you go away for 6 weeks, 2 months or more, and then do another one-off, I just don't know if that can have a resolution that would pay off for that long of a time frame. It's tough. It's tough to go beyond like 6 months on a storyline without really doing it. You can do it, but you got to be constant. Like the Tessa Sammy, I give major props as a long extended storyline, but it was always there. It was always there. This has not been. It's like something that won't get mentioned for a month or more on TV.
I'll tell you who was good at it. And I remember mentioning this during my reviews. I cannot remember specifically what storylines it was, but a company that was very good at it and telling these stories was Lucha Underground. They were able to stretch a feud, a storyline, something specific over the course of several months and break it up so that you were always reminded of it, and it was always there, and you knew it was going to come to fruition by the end of the season. And it's just, the great storytelling, the great writing.
Well, I guess that's the thing. The whole thing with JBL is he just shows up out of the crowd, clotheslines, and leaves. Never talks. So, like, he's not doing, like, interviews. So there's no other footage to use other than him. Like, but I saw Critical Sting kind of like, and he's right. He shows up when there's interference in a title match. So I guess that'll be the whole question. But right now, the angle is, well, maybe could it be a tag team title match he shows up? Because that's where the Nemeths are showing up. Tag team title match versus the Hardy. Could JBL's final angle be screwing the Hardys over?
Could be.
Watch out.
Does he show up with his old buddy Ron Simmons?
Maybe in LA? The bright lights? The Hollywood hunk?
Oh, man.
And the one in man? The crowd would be like, it might get a little rough in there. The crowd might go so anti that, but man, that would be some heat for JBL.
Yeah, it's too hard to say right now because the whole thing was so unpredictable. I mean, you kind of had a feeling when he was going to show up, but even then, there was no definite. Oh, he's going to help this person. He's going to help that person. No, he just clobbered the shit out of everyone. And Nick Nemeth was the only one that never got clobbered. So, I don't know. I liked it, but I feel like it really fell flat unfortunately. I don't know why.
I like Armand's here. Triple threat at Slammiversary. APA versus Nemeth. Others versus Hardys.
There you go. Classic.
Everyone wants that APA theme music. Damn.
I'll have to listen to that again. You know what? I haven't heard that in so long. I don't even remember what it is.
Now, here for the old wrestling heads in the chat here that also watched WCW, NWA. APA or Doom?
Oh, jeez. Doom was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. Butch Reed. I remember the natural Butch Reed from WWF.
Yeah. There you go.
That's how old I am. I remember my mom saying, "There is nothing natural about his hair."
I remember seeing the All-American Ron Simmons as world champion.
See, that was a little, I don't want to say before my time, but what year was that when that happened? I know that was big news, but
at Ron Simmons. So what was that? That had to be early 90s.
Okay. See, and that's when I checked out. I wasn't watching anything really. Like I'd notice something from afar. I'd go over to a friend's house. Oh, it's on in the background, but never, paid it any mind really. So, but I know that was big stuff. So yeah, Leon Slater gets down to the ring. He super kicks Ryan, but Nick really super kicks Leon Slater into next week. So yeah, that's part of that team that's exploding now live on TV. So I'm sure it's all going to lead to the Hardys versus the Nemeths, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Oh, Antonio Baker says 1992. Okay, so yeah, I was.
Yeah. I knew it was the early 90s because, like I said, I was at a WCW house show for sure, but maybe even a pay-per-view where he was world champion.
Okay. Yeah, by that time,
that's when I was young Bill going to some shows with my dad and seeing the All-American Ron Simmons.
I was all about the wrestling pre-high school. As soon as high school hit, I was all into much different things. I completely went full metalhead.
I was very much like you. Same thing. Like this is all the time frames similar. Like in high school, caught it periphery. Like I kind of knew what was going on, but I wasn't watching and I wasn't going as much. I'd catch it a little bit, but then I wasn't. But then luckily, what happens? What formed post high school for me?
Oh, the NWO.
No, TNA.
Oh, TNA. Okay. You're younger than me. So
Nah, I was done high school and I was done high school in '99. So TNA formed while I was nearing the end of college.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll be following that story closely as far as the Nemeth's new journey here in TNA. Good tag, knockouts tag action here. Or not. Yeah, it was tag. Rosemary and Savannah Evans.
Makeshift tag.
Right. And we get more of it post, but we'll get into that. Yeah, makeshift, but still significant here. Rosemary and Savannah Evans versus Zaya Brookside and Yǐng Lee. Lot of fun. Great to see. You know what? I really feel like somewhere there is a good place for Savannah Evans and Rosemary to like line up as a team. I feel like it could work. You know, maybe make Savannah Evans a little more twisted. She doesn't have to go like full Jessica Havoc, you know. Just bring her back. Come on. Where is she? It's time.
We do need Havoc back. I think the TNI show would all be in full agreement of bringing Havoc back. All big fans of Jess here. So, but and depending obviously on, but like if you're going like that Havoc, gas mask Havoc, like that Havoc, the former world champion, knockouts world champion Havoc, I think that would be in this division right now something that would be something very fitting. So,
yeah. So, but what did you think of this?
No, I liked it. I think you're seeing, like, I think obviously, like Lee, like Yǐng, like coming into her own after that match with Tessa, and once again, that's credit to her, but also credit obviously to Tessa, like probably one of the best workers in the company. But then Zaya, like I think we've been seeing Zaya now for a while. I think she's obviously going to be a foundation piece in the knockouts division over these upcoming years. And that's one like kind of like an under the radar, like with a 3-year deal they signed her to, like when they signed her. So like that was something they knew like long term, like we're putting it like a long term investment in Zaya. So I think you're going to definitely be seeing her around and involved in stuff. And I think she's getting better and better. So I think this is. So some of these knockouts, I think you're seeing the improvement. And then obviously with now, and we saw it obviously during this match, more and more with the knockouts, which we can get into. But yeah, a lot going on there. For sure. Let's see what Critical Sting has to say here. Can we acknowledge Zaya getting a real feud with a tangible end game? Yeah, obviously we had that with Ash at first, but yeah, could we get that now? Another one, because that was a good feud. That's what really established Zaya in the knockouts division is the Ash feud. So she needs that next major feud.
Absolutely. Yeah, good to see that from Zaya. She's not just doing matches. I'm getting my tabs jumbled up here.
But then obviously we had everything. We get the celebration next.
Oh yes, this was priceless.
The elegant celebration, and that's where everything.
One thing I did not. We were talking about what I liked about Sacrifice. Can I say that the dance
from our good friend of the show, the Iceman?
The Iceman dance.
He killed it.
Who is the guy? The German wrestler from the 90s?
The German wrestler from the 90s?
Alex Wright. He was doing.
Wright. The Wonder Kid?
He was doing the Alex Wright dance from WCW. blew my mind. I'm like, I have not seen that in years. And he would do a move, and then he'd be like, going back and forth, shaking his hips and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. It was priceless. Absolute highlight of the show for me. One of them. I'm not going to say like that was like the best part, but yeah. And the Alex Wright move, he had the bow tie on. So it was a combination of things, but it was the dance was absolute.
Yeah, the kiss my ass
Yeah,
gear.
yeah, that too. That was great. So it's like it's like so Spitfire
Killed it.
was acting like he was going to be a non-factor when he was. So completely underestimated him. Should have known better. They laughed him off. So he's a joke. But
you hit everybody with the remember berries on Alex Wright in the chat.
Great memories. And then what Alex Wright did in the latter years when he became I remember what the character's name was, but everyone is comparing Masha Slamovich's entrance to what the latter Alex Wright character was. But yeah. So yeah, they bring a cake. The beefcakes bring the cake out, which I'm like beefcake, really? I'm like, where do these guys come?
The beefcakes.
I'm like, where do they get these guys? These are the rejects from Thunder from Down Under.
Well, there was steel cages or us. There's beefcakes or us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, beefcakes or us. Yes, yeah. It's you look up under local the beefcake telegram. That's who you get. Unbelievable. But a lot of fun. They bring in, they're like, okay, now Ash has to make her wish, which I was like, what? She's got to make it. That was the big thing. And then the lights go out. Oh, she doesn't get to make her wish because Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend show up. That was good. You knew that was going to happen. But then earlier in the show,
because we had
they mentioned a surprise, and it's like, oh, was the surprise going to be Lash and Jakara? No, we get more. So okay, number one, it's great to see Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Spitfire comes out, and even
they want their contractual rematch.
Yes, they want that. John Palmer in the chat. Yeah, nobody wore it? Nobody wore the cake. That was supposed to happen. Nobody wore it. But that's okay.
A cake was $5,000.
Yeah, you can't wear a $5,000 cake, or can you? Well,
I wore some of that $8,000 champagne, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't get into trouble stinking like that on the way home, because that stuff doesn't come out.
Oh,
I hear that stuff sticks to you.
Doesn't. Yeah. Takes a while.
Poor Bill. But then we get the surprise. Lights go out again. Oh, now who's showing up? But Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley.
The return of
Tatum Paxley, because she was one of the first ones to to cross the line, so to speak.
Last
year. Yeah. So that was cool to see. And then in fact, I don't know how. Oh, when JC Jane attacked at the start of the show, and was trying to remember during the live reaction who she was in a tag team with. And that was Gigi Dolan, and that was during Mandy. What's her name? Mandy Rose. She's gone from WWE now.
Yeah. That was what Toxic,
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah. And then they split up, and then Gigi Dolan got injured or something, so she'd been gone for a significant amount of time, about a year or so. But she's finally back, and she's finally getting used, and it's great to see. Because I don't follow everything in NXT, so it's there's so many faces to keep track of. It's nice to see a good amount of ladies come over and fill in those knockout tag teams, fill out that bunch of ladies. So, so that's good to see. So Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley are going to face Team Elegance next week, I believe is what was said. Poor Santino, just losing his mind with all this. He was so upset. He's like,
"Come on!"
He's like, "Give me a minute. Hang on, hold on." And then his daughter comes down and goes, "I got this."
And poor Ariana Grace. What's she gonna
her head
do?
was spinning too.
They're all her best friends.
Yeah. All this. I didn't know this was going to happen. Really? Really? I'm starting to wonder, Bill.
She didn't know, Jacob. She didn't know. She was too busy liaisoning.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I buy all this.
Don't talk about the liaison like that, J-Bone. No insinuation.
I think she's got some splaining to do.
You got some splaining to do.
She's got some splaining to do. Yes. So there's a brawl. All 8 ladies start brawling. Santino comes down. Grace comes down. Next week, Gigi and Pax versus Team Elegance. Can't wait. And,
the champs. Get it right,
and
J-Bone.
Everyone else is banned from the ring. The best is when Lash Legend was looking down at Santino, like Santino didn't know what to say or do. He was just kind of like pissing himself in the middle of the ring. He's like, I can't tell you what to do. And that's where Grace came in, and she's like, "Oh, but I can." Yeah, go for it. Please do. Please go for it.
She has the authority.
Yeah, she really does. You just let it rip. Then we get Mance Warner and short. I'm just going to call it a squish. I even had trouble saying the other guy's name.
Magno.
It's Magno, but my head kept saying mango.
Of course it did.
He's going to wrestle a mango.
Oh, you got a John Palmer.
Yeah.
That's a lot
of women. Yeah.
Santino. You're a treasure, Santino.
He is a national treasure. So yeah. Mance Warner gets and what caught my eye the most is Mance Warner I thought was bleeding from the start of the match. No, it wasn't. That was the smooch he got from his lady. But I thought it was like part of his face was bleeding. I mean, no, then she just kissed him more, and then it was everywhere. Like, oh my God. Lipstick everywhere.
Now, interesting. Mayor's saying, why didn't the Mance Warner match air on Access?
Probably.
Was there a disconnect on Access? Was it so short that it got accidentally cut off?
Probably with editing
from a commercial.
It was too long, like a little too long. Like maybe the women's segment went too long. So TNA Plus was able to show a different version of it and cut out advertising or X amount of advertising for it.
I don't know. I think our Manscaped promos of the past may have lasted longer than this match. So
absolutely.
How you couldn't fit this one in? I don't know how you couldn't fit this one in, but
it is what it is.
Maybe. You never know. You never know.
So not everyone will see the mango. Poor guy. We get another promo from Macklin. He doesn't need EY. Yep. I think we nailed it.
Does not need him.
I think we nailed it home. No, I love the story. I just was like, okay, are we sure now? Are we sure? Okay, we're sure.
Sure.
Macklin doesn't need him. But EY's going to still try somehow, some way.
He doesn't want any part of this.
Yeah. They're going to reconnect someday. Main event time. We get the System, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers against Elijah and Joe Hendry. What'd you think, Bill?
Are we talking main event?
Main event.
The guitar playing. Main eventers?
No horse this time, no. No horse play.
No horse. We missed the horse. Against the former tag team champs. Not too long ago. Tag team champs.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And once again, I think we're seeing obviously you got the champ, Joe Hendry. But then you got Elijah. I think he's definitely fit right into the main event scene pretty seamlessly. Crowd definitely behind them.
El Paso's loving Elijah.
But interesting. Now, obviously, that we had the heel Nick Nemeth turn, is now just everyone waiting for the next heel turn to be Elijah.
I feel like because
at some point that guitar is going over Joe's head.
It has to. It has to. But I feel like we have to wait a little bit. I think we can separate.
Yeah, it won't be immediate.
We can keep them separate. We can separate them for a bit. Have them go their separate ways. But eventually, yeah, it's going to happen. I feel like we need. If we are going to go that direction, we need someone else to come in, though. And fill a major babyface role in the company. Because Nick going that route now, that's a void. And Elijah coming in is good, because obviously they knew what was going to happen. But like I said, with Nick going heel now with his brother, they're going to take over the tag team division. Just guesstimating here, where the story's going to go with the Hardys. You can't upset the apple cart too much. No,
you cannot.
But we'll see. Well, we'll see. There's always new stuff happening in the company. Good stuff happening with the knockouts. Chavo's in now. Chavo's kind of doing the lucha thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
I have not checked out the roster page. Let's see.
If he's on there already.
I'm just curious. No, Chavo is not.
Okay, well, next week when he's in ring action, I think we see it. But big win over the system for Joe and Elijah here. And who knows, as Mayor's saying, Joe Hendry's the real most wanted man. He could be on Raw this Monday because it's in Glasgow. And then he is confirmed. That is something to keep an eye on during Mania week. Joe Hendry is actually part of the WWE World Fan Fest as a signer. So TNA talent Joe Hendry is actually part of a WWE event.
And might become part of a video game from what I'm hearing.
Ooh.
That's big.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
No. I've got a feeling that we're going to see certain TNA talent become part of the 2K25 universe as a what is that called?
Downloadable character.
Yeah, DLC. Yeah,
not TLC. DLC.
You're going to see Joe Hendry. I think Jordan Grace is going to become part of that sooner rather than later.
Abyss.
Abyss has been confirmed. That's the crazy part. I'm like, what? Abyss has been confirmed. I would not be surprised if you start seeing a classic version of AJ.
Oh, only if it's get ready to fly.
Yeah, where well, they already released a version of it, but it was a WCW version of AJ Styles. Obviously, not TNA.
Okay.
I mean, it's still it's TNA.
Headband AJ.
Yeah, it's early 2000s AJ, so it's.
Only the few can speak of that AJ, since nobody was watching WCW in 2000.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I even checked out at that point. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I think I checked out.
But before we're done tonight, J-Bone, I do want to give, obviously, a shout-out to one of the best in the game, in the interview and podcast game, that Chris Van Fleet, who dropped his latest interview with the one, the only TNA superstar, Chris Bay, with his first in-depth interview about everything that happened, his recovery, looking forward. But I haven't listened to the whole thing. I've heard bits and pieces, seen clips of it so far. But it's just great hearing Chris Bay and seeing him looking good, and just some great news, obviously, from when we saw him take the steps in the recovery. But it sounds like he obviously there's that big benefit show at FSW coming up, and I believe it's kind of confirmed that he's going to make an appearance there. And then obviously we'll see what happens during Mania week, because obviously he's in Vegas. But good stuff there, all good stuff. So definitely check that out as well. To hear straight from Chris Bay, because obviously we know there was, and that's kind of what he even talks about. It was so unknown for so long, for those couple months.
Yeah,
but then
to what degree he was
really accelerated.
How bad it was, what happened, what he injured. Yeah, we just didn't know. I mean, I'm sure the people on the inside knew, but it wasn't getting out.
No, because I think everybody was waiting, like, let him tell his story, and that's what he was able to do.
And that's proper.
So, kudos to Chris, but kudos to the two Chris's. But definitely us here, long supporters of Chris Bay. We're wishing the best for him going forward, and that's definitely something to check out.
And Chris Van Vliet, he has come so far.
Yeah,
he is absolutely one of the top guys, killing it in the interview industry in wrestling. I still remember when he started to really just started to gain momentum 6 years ago, and I met him in Chicago at Bound for Glory, and he was just wandering around. He was just a fan, but he was able to get a couple interviews with Ken Shamrock and one or two others at that time, and very approachable, very nice guy. Was able to chat with him for a while, get a picture with him, and man, he's come so far. It's fun. It's like I've missed a lot of his interviews. He's
he cranks them out.
He does. Obviously he schedules a bunch at a time. He'll book a hotel room in a city where there's an event going on, and he'll knock out a bunch. He's killing it. So yes, please go support Chris Van Vliet and go check out the latest interview with Chris Bay. And it might be more of a talking point in the future after we both digest it and go check it out. It's just less than an hour and a half long, so he takes his time with it, and I'm sure he's going to let this story breathe, and I'm sure he's going to knock it out of the park. I've heard nothing but positive so far, though, for those that have watched it. So
yeah, definitely check it out.
And make sure you guys check out our brothers from across the pond. Go give them some love. They weren't able to do a show this week. I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll be back next week. There's just technical difficulties getting off the ground this week. They got to get at least one other guy trained on how to go live on Restream, I think. Then they'll be back on track. So go give them some love and watch for their next show. As far as us, make sure you just check out all the links in the description. Smash that like button on your way out. Smash that sub button. Ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our product hits your screen. Say goodnight, Bill.
Good night.
We'll see you guys next week.